Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for a fact that makes your brain go. And we'll give you the result of 13% of Chicagoans would rather have this be smaller than bigger in the home. And Kenzie guessed the bathroom because people all want these extravagant, huge bathrooms, but then you got to clean it eventually, and it becomes a pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass.
And then Case guessed vacuum cleaners, which we have verified. You can, in multiple movies, they call them AT-ATs or AT-ATs.
Interesting.
So I guess we're both right and both wrong at the same time.
I feel like I'm more right, but okay.
I know you feel that way.
I feel like that Weasley guy with the long ears would call it at. I feel like he'd be like that.
The Weasley guy with the long... Is he talking about Yoda? Is she talking
I
about?
believe she's talking about Jar Jar Binks.
Yes.
Oh.
That's it.
Me so go on the AT-AT.
Yes.
I didn't know you had that impression in you. It's Clinton. It's Bill Clinton, Ed McMahon from the Johnny Carson Show, and Jar Jar Binks are kind of your three impressions.
I mean, Morgan Freeman, Liam Neeson, there's a few in there.
Classic.
Bane.
Oh, who could forget Bane?
I like Jar Jar. He seems like a nice person.
He's the most hated Star Wars character of all time.
Seems like a good guy. Why is he hated? What did he do?
Because it made it silly. And Star Wars was supposed to be serious
The
business.
silly part I like. I'm like, well, he's fun at least.
All right, here we go. So what 13% of people in Chicago want smaller and bigger than in their house, which blew my mind, is a TV. They want a smaller TV than what is available. I found this stunned because I have a 75-inch TV. I'm not bragging here. I'm just, just saying. 75-inch is great. I want a 100-inch now. Costco has a 100-inch one now, this brand called Hisense. It's under $2,000 for a 100-inch TV.
It's under how much?
Under $2,000 for a 100.
Oh, I think you said 200. I'm like,
No.
holy crap.
Yeah, no, I don't know if it's a brand that's gonna last or not. I don't know. I never heard of that brand.
No, they're a good brand.
Are they?
No, I just like they're good. They're really good.
How do you know?
How do you know?
Because my family has one of those TVs.
Of course they do.
How long have they had it?
A few years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not. Hey, say what you will about me. I'm not going to give you bad TV advice, okay? It's one of the few things I won't do.
Tastes like we all got them at stockings over the Christmas.
You got a 100-inch TV at your house?
I don't know. It's not 100. It's just the same brand.
Yeah, a 100-inch TV is now available at Costco, but 13% of people say they want smaller. They say 50 inches is plenty for a TV in the house. And I go to someone's house with 50-inch now, and I can't even see the TV. It's like I'm in the 300 level at the United Center. I'm trying to watch the game. I'm like,
So I loved when I was single, and lived in my apartment. I didn't have some huge TV because I'm a single girl. So I think I had probably like a 48. It was really like 48 or 50, right? Is what I had. And I thought that was great. And then I went to, at the time my boyfriend, but now my husband's apartment. And oh my God, he had like an 85-inch TV on the wall. And it made me so embarrassed when he came to my house because I looked like I had a computer monitor as a TV. And I just felt like crap about myself after seeing somebody with such a big TV.
yeah, I think it's a guy thing for sure. I don't think
It's such a guy thing.
I don't, and I'm not being sexist. I just don't think you see a woman going there, give me the 100-inch TV.
How dare you say that?
Men are like, look at how big my TV is. They get all amped about it. I think it's a masculine thing for them.
But I will say, when people come over, they go like, damn, that's a big TV. That's nice.
First thing I notice.
Yeah, it's great.
It would be, if we were still in the wild, it would be one of the things they use as a mating call. Look how big my TV is.
Yeah. 20% of people said they won't go bigger than 65 inches. It's funny, this was actually a poll before Super Bowl week on this, but, you're going to go over someone's house that's going to have the projector that's 18 feet. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, man. We're going on the side of the house. We're going to watch Super Bowl out there. It's kind of cold out. I know, but I got 18-foot monitor out there.
The projector people are the same people that are not going to have YouTube TV or an antenna or cable. They're like, no, I've actually found a stream that's going to be better. Then they're going to be 18 minutes behind on the game. It's going to be awful. Don't go to that guy's house.
I don't like projectors, and I don't think it counts. You can't tell me, do you have a 1,000-inch TV and you have a projector? It doesn't count. It's cheating.
This is projecting?
Yeah, you're just projecting a picture on the wall. So you don't have that big of a TV. You have a flat screen. You have a flat surface.
Well, yeah, the problem with them, too, is they say, well, we got to go down the basement, and we got to turn on all the lights, and all the windows have to put duct tape on them and blackout curtains. It's got to be completely pitch black to be as good a quality as a flat TV.
What, have you ever seen somebody put them on the wall?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's like stupid because I'm like, well, there's an outlet in the middle of your TV. This looks like ass.
Over the window.
I see a light switch over somebody's face.
Yeah. Well, listen, I listen. The minute I can get that 100-inch TV, and now the case has given a stamp of approval on Hinsens as a brand, maybe I'll go get that one before this weekend.
773 said they have 3 of them. They're a great brand. That's the seal of approval you need. 3 TVs, same brand. That's all you need.
Jeez, 3. Do you think it's all the 1,000-inch ones?
100-inch. 100-inch.
Oh. I'm not good at deciding 100. Like, I don't know. That sounds, anything with the word inch after it sounds small. So you could give me.
Wow.
You could give me any measurement and then say inch after, and I go, so it's not that big.
So, Kenzie, I got a 100-inch TV.
I'm like, oh, inches?
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and here we go. It is time for the weigh-ins, and this is, exciting, nerve-wracking because it's the second to last weigh-in we'll do. The weight competition ends on Friday after a month-long journey. Actually, 5 weeks it'll be total before Super Bowl Sunday. And I had a bad weekend.
Well, you had a good weekend in a way.
It was a tremendous weekend.
We also had a bad week, kind of.
Yeah, really. Believe it or not, I've been working hard at this and doing pretty good overall with the 4-hour body and the carb light diet and heavy protein. And I'm allowed to have a cheat day. I had 4 cheat days in the last week.
Walk us through from Wednesday to this morning. What has gone on your tour of destruction?
Last Wednesday, D'Agostino's Pizza, because they got half off extra large pizzas on Wednesday. It's good to take the kid there, and it's also good budgeting for a family. So now Kenzie's looking at me like, you didn't have to eat it.
They have salads there.
And what did you do after D'Agostino's that wasn't on sale?
Because our Harper was so happy, we figured let's keep the happiness going and stopped at Dairy Queen for a Blizzard. Mm-hmm. That
What
was
size
just.
Blizzard did you have?
I had a small, but the small is a good size.
It was good.
It's pretty good
You
size.
could have gotten a mini.
What's a mini?
They sell the minis.
Didn't know. And then Friday, Lou Malnati's, the great people from Lou Malnati's brought in the heart-shaped pizzas and gave us each one. So we all agreed we'd eat one to make it, that in theory, should balance out everybody's weight challenge, right?
Yeah.
But I had 2 of the heart pizzas, the heart deep dish pizzas they're selling all month long for Valentine's Day. You should go get one. They're delicious, and also for charity. Kenzie, did you eat one full pizza, you think, on Friday?
No. I did not. I had the slicer too when I was in there. Like I cut the little.
Yeah.
I cut the heart in half, and then I had a piece of that. So I had a quarter of it.
Okay.
And then I brought the rest home for my husband.
It's very nice.
So I had a quarter of I have a quarter of the heart pizza.
And they gave us a lot, and we shared with the staff. But, Case, you took home 3?
Well, I had 1 here,
Yeah.
and then I had 2 full ones at home. I broke them up: Saturday lunch, Saturday dinner, Sunday lunch, Sunday snack. And that was sort of my weekend, yeah. Because I'd rip them in half. I would almost be like anti-Cupid. I'd like rip the heart pizza in half,
Yeah.
and then that would just be the meal.
Sure.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's a very good thing to do.
It's fantastic.
But then, so I had 2 of them on Friday, and then taking Harper up to see my brother and his wife, we stopped at California Pizza Kitchen in Northbrook because it was nearby. Mm-hmm. And I already had that much pizza that week, so I wanted to try something else. And stunned that California Pizza Kitchen has an incredible bacon cheeseburger. Incredible.
I really wanted something different. Not one of the salads on the menu, obviously.
No.
Well, they were almost called California Bacon Cheeseburger Kitchen, so I understand why you would get that.
It was so good. And then yesterday I went to my favorite Mexican restaurant, Cafe El Tapatio, because I figured, why the hell not at this point? I'm Chris Farley at the end, just binging for days up in the Hancock building and just ending it all.
That's the saddest comparison you could make.
I love Chris Farley to death, but that's what I felt like.
Wow.
Got that Khalifa burrito, the California burrito that has potatoes, sour cream, cheese. So potatoes in the burrito.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brian group chatted me and Case last night, okay? With a picture of his plate and said, worried about the weigh-in. And I swear to God, the burrito was the size of me. And I'm like, yeah, you should be. Like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, I don't know. Like, it's like, I feel like you texted us for a confidence boost. Like, no, that won't affect you at all.
That's what I was looking for. Didn't get it.
Not
Didn't
what
get
we
that
said.
at all. Nope. And Cafe El Tapatio, the burrito, delicious. The steak, everything about it. They even give you beans and rice on the side of the burrito, too.
Good. Did you finish them?
Of course. I finished Harper's, too. So So here we go. I anticipate a huge jump in the weigh-in today, but I don't care. I'm happy.
You know, Brian's going to be mad that he didn't lose 15 pounds and he only lost 10.
All right, so I'm getting on.
Okay, get on the scale.
Brian, by the way, is wearing a The Challenge t-shirt today with his name on it. I think that's new.
Was the challenge to gain weight?
This is an MTV The Challenge shirt with my name on it. Megan got this for Christmas for me.
That's awesome.
The show I wish I was on when I was younger and healthy, but right now not so healthy because...
What'd you weigh in at? What's your number?
Oh, what was my number last week, Kenzie, before I give this number?
Last week, so your starting weight at the competition was 247 pounds.
Yes.
Last week, you weighed in at 235.8, and you were winning the weight loss competition, which disgusts me, but you were. I digress.
By body percentage of loss, not
Yes.
necessarily.
So last week, you were at 4.53 in percentage lost.
So my weight today is 236.2.
Oh, you did gain weight.
Yes. But about what, 0.8 pounds or something? What did I gain there?
Not a total pound,
Yeah.
which again makes me want to vomit, but whatever. So your new percentage is, so you're 236.2 pounds. You did gain a smidgen of weight, which is disgusting based on the diet that you described. And your new weight loss percentage is 4.37. That's where you're sitting at.
Okay. And you look at it this way, I've still lost 11 pounds from 4 weeks ago.
Brian's still looking at this as a win.
That's right. Girl math.
Girl math. Overall, down in pounds, baby.
All right, Kenzie, your turn on the scale.
Okay, hold on. Let me take my shirt off again.
Anything you want to share about the weekend eating? Anything you did?
Okay, so I actually didn't eat a lot this weekend at all. Not because of dangerous tendencies. I had to fly in and out of Orlando in the same day to go to my friend's bridal shower, but I was gonna eat at the airport there and back. Both times I almost missed my flight, so I didn't get to get food. And I also got to the shower late, and the food was already gone.
Oh my God.
I basically just didn't eat Saturday. Not by choice. Like, it wasn't like, I'm going to do this. And then yesterday, when I get really stressed, I feel physically ill, like kind of throw uppy. That's my vibe. And I felt really ill the whole day because I was so stressed out. So I didn't eat till last night. So in 2 days, I've honestly only had one meal. Again, not because I think that's safe and that's what people should do to lose weight. It was just the circumstance of the situation. So Brian literally gained a point whatever on that, and I'm sure that I gained 17 pounds by not eating because that's how this has gone.
I don't want to brush over this. You flew to Miami for
Orlando.
Orlando, I'm sorry. Flew to Florida, let's just say. And you get there expecting a glorious free spread for your girlfriend's party. And the food was done by the time you flew to Orlando.
Yes. So I missed the food at the airport because the security line was so long. And I'm like, it's okay. I'll eat at the shower. I got to the shower. I was 30 minutes late to the shower. The food was already gone because everyone ate right away. And then I'm like, it's fine. I'll get food on the way home. I got stuck in traffic in Orlando and had to run to my flight. So no, I didn't get to eat the entire time.
Didn't the chef take pity and say, I knew you flew in for this? No one else flew in for it. You flew from Chicago down there and maybe said, I got a plate for you. I got a plate.
No, I think they made all the food and then it was gone. They weren't like,
God.
there was tons of food I didn't make in case somebody was late.
Kenzie, can I just say that I'm proud of you for not committing a murder in Orlando on Saturday? That's very big of you to not be in prison right now.
No, thank you. Thank you. I did feel really dizzy, but it's fine.
Then again, we don't have the list of the party people that attended.
That's true.
We don't know. We haven't a proof of life check on all those people that
Killed
went
no
to.
one.
Tomorrow
Killed
on
no
Kenzie's
one. I'm very
Crimes.
happy.
All right, Kenzie.
Very happy for my friend. Killed nobody.
So your numbers then before you get on the scale.
Okay, so I started at 141.8. Last week, I weighed in at 136.6, and I was down 3.67. So I was in second place, okay?
All right.
Okay, so hold on. Let me walk around because the scale's by Brian.
Okay, go. She always disrobes too.
I know. Well, because I want to make sure it's accurate. I wear, like, thick sweatpants.
Thick sweatpants.
Yeah, they're down to
Here
lingerie
she goes.
now.
Down to her sports. Yeah, Case calls it lingerie. It's a sports bra.
It's literally a sports bra. I work out in this. Stop.
Okay, get on the scale.
Okay, one's toggling.
It's toggling.
Wait for the final numbers.
Is it that circle like on the computer when you're waiting for something to load?
Oh, the rainbow wheel on the back.
Okay, I'm 135.6.
So is that up or down?
No.
Oh, it's down. Okay, never mind.
Okay, I lost exactly 1 pound.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so hold on. Let me go back to my phone and put my percentage in. I'm the one with the weight loss calculator. Oh my God. Brian and I are tied. I'm down 4.37 exactly too.
We're exactly tied?
We've both lost 4.37.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You, honestly, I want to punch through a wall right now. Like, listen to what he said, because he's also leaving out that last weekend he was an a-hole too because it was his birthday.
Yes.
And we've lost the same. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's been an awesome 6-7 days.
This is the disrespect. My body disrespects me consistently.
Yeah, things are looking up for Brian.
I'm looking pretty good. We're exactly tied. What are the odds?
Wow.
Oh, my God.
The universe is just out. Nobody can convince me that the universe doesn't hate me. Nobody.
All right, so Friday's going to be the final weigh-in, and then that will decide it. So Friday's weigh-in at this time is going to decide who wins the weight loss competition unless Case makes some dramatic jump.
Well, that's a possibility. Don't make it sound so ridiculous.
So Brian and I are both down to 4.37%, which is sick, but then we're down with that percentage. He weighed in at 236.2. I weighed in at 135.6. Case currently, but he hasn't weighed in this week, is down 1.72. So you would have to really have a comeback era, but you kind of said you didn't care this weekend.
Case is in his comeback era.
Yeah, I'm in my comeback era. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Jim and Aurora said he's putting money on you on DraftKings to win the whole thing, Case.
Jim, I would not recommend that. I would cash out right now.
There's a cash out option for half a penny.
Yeah.
Jim and Aurora, thank you for your confidence in Case. Do you want to go ahead and weigh in now and just finish it off right now? All right, so Case is going to come over and weigh in. So while he's walking over to the scale, Kenzie, what are his numbers?
So his starting weight at the beginning of this competition was 250 pounds. Last week's weigh-in, he weighed in at 247.2 pounds for a total weight loss now, percentage-wise, of 1.72.
Okay. Whoa, Case. I'm looking. I can see the monitor here.
What does it say?
244.8.
You've got to be kidding me.
He ate 3 Lou Malnati's pizzas this weekend.
I quit. I'm leaving the show. I'm leaving.
What? Oh, my. And cookies, you said, too.
And cookies. I'm telling you, healthy eating is a scam. Stop doing it today.
That's right. That's your lowest weight of all the whole time. And a big drop.
I feel vigorous, let me tell you.
What if he's tied, too? Kenzie, you calculating that?
No, I just calculated it. He's not. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
He's down 2.08%.
Hey,
man, you should celebrate that. You're right. Healthy eating is a scam.
That's awful. What a racket. Let me tell you.
From Big Food.
Yeah, Big Food, Big Pharma, the whole enchilada.
Wow. That's amazing.
I just want to cry.
I know. Well, here we go. So going into Friday, myself and Kenzie are exactly tied at percentage lost. And Case,
I want to win.
Case might win. You never know. Maybe Jim and Aurora's right.
I know if he eats enough pizza, he'll win, apparently.
That's right.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. 2005 turning out to be a pretty pivotal year, just like 2004 was. If you listen to the show heavily last year, I kept getting stunned about what was 20 years old. 2004, wow, so much stuff. And now 2005 looking pretty damn incredible, with especially starting off here just in February. So imagine 2005, February 3rd, this week, this dropped, and it changed everybody's life, no matter what you do, no matter how old you are, no matter anything that you do as for a living, let's say, changed everybody's life for the better.
Would you say 100% of people have used what was invented this week 20 years ago?
I'd have to believe that unless you're a psycho and use another application.
Okay. Okay, that's a lofty claim.
Well, we'll find out who everybody is. We're going to put people in groups here pretty soon.
Okay.
That's not
That doesn't
ominous.
make you sound great.
Very Mussolini of you.
So what dropped 20 years ago this week was Google Maps. Google Maps dropped 20 years ago this week, specifically on February 8th, but there was beta versions out there. Some people got it first. And Google Maps was out there, and now for 20 years, we've been using Google Maps to get around Chicago and wherever you go. Now, to go on that again, there's those groups. There's still the Waze people that still believe Waze is better, even though Google owns Waze now.
Okay.
They didn't. I thought when Google bought Waze, they were going to say like, "Buy Waze, we got Google Maps." They didn't. They just kept it up and running.
No, because they're tricky. So they're like, well, this is already someone's favorite. Now we'll make money off of them too.
You're damn right. And then there's Apple Maps. Kenzie, what do you use?
I use Google Maps.
Okay.
It tells me when there's cops.
You're right. See, Waze was the first to do that.
Go-to.
Waze was the first ones to let people put warnings on it, and you could say there's a pothole up here, there's a stalled car, or there's a cop up here. There's a speed trap up here. And then Google Maps, when they bought them, they said, hey, well, we're going to do that. You can still do it, but we're going to do it too.
Yeah. That worked out nice for them.
For me, Google Maps has saved me in tickets because I leave it on all the time now because they give that little beep when there's a speed camera somewhere on like Irving Park Road, let's say, which I've gotten 7 tickets from. I don't get them anymore because of Google Maps.
There you go.
They're doing God's work, honestly.
But I want you to think about that for a second, just Google Maps in general. I only changed over a couple years ago because I felt it was lagging and I missed some turns and I threw things in my car when I missed a turn. But now I think they're up to date. I was an Apple Map guy before that. Or Waze, I should say. Waze and Apple Map.
Apple
I
Map.
do.
Ugh.
I don't know if Case had this because I only had to do this for a few years. And he's a couple years younger than me because I'm 29. You're 25, right, Case?
Yes.
Or did you turn 26?
Nope, 25.
You turn 26 in a couple
25.
weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, you turned 26 in like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what I meant. Okay. So,
But 25.
25, almost 46 in like a week. So, and that's my reminder because I'm sure Brian hasn't gotten you a gift yet. So that
Thank
is
you
my
for that reminder, Kenzie.
You are welcome. Okay. So I vividly remember going on MapQuest at home, like on a computer. So logging in the computer room to a computer, going on MapQuest, but we were too poor to have a printer. So then I had to take out a piece of paper and write every step down from MapQuest onto a piece of paper that was easily readable. And then I would have to set that up so I could kind of see it on my dashboard. I only had to do this for a few years. And I remember while I was doing it thinking, all that we have, and this is how I'm getting directions, like this is insane. Like it didn't seem, we should have been more advanced even then. Did you ever have to use MapQuest or anything? You started off with the Google.
I've never driven a car without Google Maps.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just the default setting. And like, I understand what MapQuest is, but I've never used that. And then we were talking a few weeks ago about when you go to the truck stop and you have all the people staring at the map on the wall in the truck stop.
Yeah.
Like, if you handed me a paper map right now and told me to find my apartment from here, I wouldn't know what to do. I mean, I look at a paper map. It's like looking at hieroglyphics. It's, to me, a lost language that has been gone for decades and decades, if not centuries at this point. I can't imagine not having Google Maps in my life. I use it every day.
Do you know
And to be honest, if I was born in a different time frame, I think I could have been a cartographer. I am really good at maps. And I don't know why.
I was going to say, when I, pre-Google Maps, I would look at maps on a Friday night just to see these little towns everywhere. I used to look at maps.
I wasn't getting laid, obviously.
No, why would I want to get laid? Like look and see where these towns are in between here and like Gary, Indiana.
I mean, I have some stupid hobbies, but that one's pretty
Good
bad.
Lord. I didn't casually look at maps. I meant I was good when I needed to get somewhere.
I'm putting myself out there. Is tell you what I used to do. I used to look at maps and do it. And back to Kenzie's point on MapQuest, we used to have to go places at the radio station. Let's say we were going to a bar night in Schaumburg or whatever, and they'd say, "Here's your MapQuest directions." It'd be 45 pages because every little point mile turn, it'd take a whole page on MapQuest when you printed
Because
it
it
out.
had a picture.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just relax. I'm not going to have time to compare the live event with the photo. I got to turn.
Yeah.
Do hold it up. Some of it was stupid because it'd be like, turn right. And it would just be like a picture of like a sign with an arrow on it. Like, I don't need all these pictures.
So, Brian, and I don't say this to intentionally sound dumb, but I have like a real question.
Okay, I can't wait for this.
Hypothetical scenario: you're in Chicago, but you're for the weekend driving across state lines. Let's say you're going to the Mars Cheese Castle in Wisconsin.
It's a great place.
How do you know where to go if you don't have Google Maps? Like, this is pre-Google Maps. How would you have any idea?
You know, I wish I could remember. I don't because I used to go places all the time because without
You had to
this
get out of the
stuff.
house. Yeah, you had to just go places.
Now, everybody used to keep a map in their car, believe it or not. You kept the map in the glove box or the big atlas in the back, little mesh thing you throw in there, and it would stick in there. But I used to know by my brain how to get everywhere without help. How crazy is that?
Can you still do that?
Not really.
No,
it's
it's
gone.
like it's like handwriting. We've
No.
just completely lost that skill.
I can't get to the Jewel that's 5 blocks from me anymore. I turn on Google Maps and I go. Yeah, I used to know how to get everywhere. And you know what else? It's kind of like at the end of Castaway, which you haven't seen that movie
No,
yet.
I haven't. But okay, go ahead, spoil it for me.
Well, I'm not.
Well, be careful. Because he's going to watch it.
What happened to Wilson?
Well, that's another.
Well, actually, that's a pretty dark ending.
I can't get there. I can't do that. Anyway, I don't want to ruin Castaway for you, so I'll just forget that.
Go ahead.
Well, he just.
Please plug your ears. Don't plug them.
Okay,
So at the end of the movie, he kind of goes to a 4-way road, and he stops, just gets out, like, which way am I going to go in my life right now? He stops and looks around. He has a map. He doesn't know. He's lost. He's actually lost in America.
But he's on the beach?
No, that's later.
This is the end. This is when he gets off the beach.
Oh.
He's off the beach. And Wilson's not around anymore. I'm sorry.
Don't bring up why Wilson's gone. Stop it.
That will ruin him, Kenzie, when he sees Castaway and sees what happens to Wilson.
You would have never thought a volleyball could have that dark of an ending.
But yeah, you just sit there and actually get lost, and it would be kind of your brain would work to get you out of the problem when you were lost.
Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want my brain to work.
Like when I first moved.
It doesn't. Don't worry.
Yeah, yours is gone. When I first moved into downtown Chicago, I remember I'd get lost because there was no Google Maps and everything.
Yeah.
And I'd look for the Hancock building and go, okay, as long as I can see that, I know I'm not too off.
Okay.
And I try to figure my way out back around to wherever I needed to go.
But this is like the people, because I can't get the Chicago Sports Network on my antenna, and they go pointing at the Sears Tower. I don't know where the Sears Tower is. I can't find it from my apartment.
But you couldn't get to the Sears Tower. Like, you don't know what it looks like in general?
Well, I understand it's a building, but I can't find it.
God.
But you know what? I can go on Google Maps. It can tell me exactly where it is and how to get there.
Oh, it's beautiful. It tells you where to park even.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really tall. I don't know why you can't find it.
Wow. Parking is, I hadn't even thought about parking with Google Maps. How did anybody park their car before 2005?
You had to just drive around and find a lot.
You would leave early to find parking case.
God, that sounds awful.
This is a side subject, but there was street parking back then. There was like meters.
Well, they have those now.
But they've closed off so much of the street parking in the city now because they want to make it permit and tow your ass. There's not near as much street
Did
parking
you
as
ever
there used
park
to
and
be.
then realize you didn't have coins to put in a meter? You almost hit somebody with your car. You were so mad.
You're like, you got to preach that, like when Kenzie's saying that you had to then go into the nearest 7-Eleven and buy 7 things to get enough change to put in the meter.
Oh,
It's
my
unbelievable.
God. How did anybody live?
Different time, Case. A tougher time.
I mean,
my
case
God.
people used to have to hunt for their food, so take it down a notch.
Yeah, think about it that way. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101 celebrating 20 years of Google Maps this week.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We'll recap the Grammy Awards last night in just about 10 minutes. Gil Curtis with your headlines as well. And we're talking about the 20th anniversary of Google Maps as this week, 2005, it launched and started a war. Now, were Apple Maps existing before Google Maps?
No. Apple Maps was later, and Apple, by that point had the precedent of if they were going to release something new, it was going to be game-changing. And then Apple Maps launched, and the launch date is one of the great technological failures of the 21st century. They really had to, once they build it again from the ground up because the launch was so bad.
Did it send people into the water?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Not good. Not what I want out of my GPS system.
Well, I didn't remember that.
Do you remember when you'd pull your phone out and you'd accidentally hit GPS and it would load up and you're like, oh my God, this is going to cost $1,000? Get me out of here.
Old by the minute. Yeah, and also we forget to mention that, in case you wouldn't know this, because it was before your time, but it killed Garmin as a GPS device. Did you ever have, Kenzie, the Garmin on your dashboard?
I didn't have one, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I knew people who had one. They didn't spend that kind of money on me. I was a kid. I didn't have that.
They were cool. Garmin was
Yeah.
cool. And in 1 second, it's kind of like when Smells Like Teen Spirit, the first chord killed all the hair metal bands. In one little click of an app, Google Maps destroyed the Garmin. Because it's gone.
You know what sucks is they came out with this device which is so smart, and they're like, Well, we'll be around forever because when directions, everyone's always going to need directions.
It's recession-proof. It's amazing.
Yeah. Like this is think about how long maps have been around. Maps had the longest run of probably any business plan ever, and they're like, "Oh my God, we're going to replace maps." This is unbelievable what we're doing, and they got crushed.
We should probably pour one out for the guy that invented the Garmin.
Oh God.
Well, they're still around. They're a watch company now.
Yeah, but what do you think they did with that guy? The guy that did the map part of it.
And are they a popular watch company?
I think so.
I think they've actually done a pretty good pivot to be like an exercise watch.
And
I believe the
like
Garmin.
trails and hiking. I think those people love Garmins.
Yeah.
You know,
I love
those
trails
people.
and hiking. I
Yeah,
love a
well,
Garmin.
get a Garmin.
Well, I have an Apple Watch.
Ugh.
What? You don't even have one.
So listen, there was a guy named Dr. Min Kao and Gary Burnell. They co-founded Garmin in '89. We need a proof of life on them if they're okay. I want to make sure they're alive. Because just what Kenzie said, just in 1 second, and that Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit chord, they were insignificant. They were done.
Oh, you know what? What were their names? Gary Burnell and Dr. Min Kao?
Yes.
They were inducted into the U.S. National Aviation Hall of Fame in 2024. They were honored last year.
Oh, well, that's good.
The Aviation Hall of Fame.
The National Aviation Hall of Fame of it's the United States National Aviation Hall of Fame.
Well, they probably came up with sky maps
Are there sky
for
maps?
the planes or something.
Oh my God.
Well, they probably use the GPS up there. Imagine whipping out a map when you're flying. What a
Ugh.
bitch.
Do
No.
pilots use maps?
They have radar.
Right now they have radar, but they didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that.
They had to have radar before '89.
No.
We have a pilot that listens. Maybe he can call up and educate us.
But like,
There's
I need
no way,
like
because then why didn't we all have it if it was invented?
Because planes are more important than us.
I know, but like if it was invented, they would have started like, this is good. We should use this for everybody.
Someone said they use Garmin makes fish finders for fishing boats too.
Oh, that's good.
Find the fish. Why just throw a line in the water? I don't know where they are. So I'm not going to waste all day trying to catch a
Garmin's good at
fish.
tracking everything. We gotta have a tracker on it.
I don't know if our pilot can tell us how planes fly. It'd be great. How they know where they're going.
But like old planes, I know how planes fly now, but what about a plane in the 80s?
But like the Wright brothers, like
Yeah.
Amelia Earhart, we would have been able to find her. So there's no way.
So you're going back too far. Case thinks the 80s we had no digital map technology on planes
How would they?
because it's
Because
not that
why,
long.
Brian?
ago.
No.
It's not that long ago. It was not like they used a bird and they followed a bird with the stars.
How?
Well, I think they just had maps and they knew the trail.
I don't think they were opening a map in the sky in the 80s.
Ask Garmin. They had an aviation award.
Well, true. Facts.
They had to provide some type of sky map.
Tim just checked and said radar was invented in World War II.
Okay,
When was
cool.
that?
That was the 40s.
That's the 40s.
But does Southwest have radar in the 80s? I know World War II had it, but Southwest was a little slow to adapt.
They had to have
I
it.
don't think so.
Oh, we'll do some research in the break here. Come back.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
All right, before we get to Gil Curtis and your headlines, we had a discussion about the 20-year anniversary of Google Maps is this week. Incredible. It's changed all of our lives for the better. It led to a conversation of how planes fly. Do they have GPS? And we really, it's, people are like, the show's off the rails this morning, but I can't stop listening. A couple callers checked in with.
Well, because I made the point, like I've never driven a car without Google Maps, but people are like, oh, you had the MapQuest, you had the maps at the truck stop, sometimes you just knew where you were going. Okay, understand at least the basics of if you were driving a car and you didn't have Google Maps, there are ways to figure out how to get there. But planes, if you don't know where you're going as a pilot, what do you do?
Well, we have Ted on the line, whose dad was a pilot. So, Ted, ahoy, welcome in. And can you educate us on when and, what exact time did planes get GPS, like us on the cars? Ted, hello, you're on the air.
Sorry, I got you now. I lost you guys for a second there. So I don't know the exact date that they got the GPS. I know back in the day, I used to navigate for my dad on Twin Engine Cessnas when he would fly to and from Chicago and Indiana, and he would either use interstates to follow for navigation.
Oh my
or
God!
He would have, or he'd be like, Ted, keep those water towers in the straight line there. Tell me if we start getting out of the way of those. And I was like, okay. Or he'd give me a world atlas and a compass. And that was back in the 90s.
In the
I
90s.
told you, Sky Map, bitch. I told you.
And I for a long time I did aviation maintenance recruitment, so I talked to a lot of avionics guys. And Garmin's a big player in avionics and in like onboard electronics for aircraft. I mean that was like 6 years ago, so I mean maybe Google Maps has something now, but for a long time my dad had so many maps of so many Midwestern states just in his pocket. He's like, hey, find the Illinois map, and I'd like, okay, and we'd open it up, and it'd be like 2 feet long. You're like, okay, well.
What if you flew over a state and didn't have that map of that state?
I'm sorry, what was that?
No, never mind. I guess you're here, so it all worked out.
You're like, do you recognize that one cloud that's shaped like a dog?
If you see that, you missed your
That's
turn.
going north by northwest. I'm like, yes, sir.
So let me get this straight. Garmin got their ass kicked by Google Maps, and then they put it in planes. Yikes.
It's amazing that anybody is alive. The fact that human history has gone this far is incredible.
Ted, thanks for checking in,
I
man.
would imagine that the airliners had GPS back in the 90s. Like, if you were American Airlines and you were a billion-dollar company, you probably had.
You weren't using a compass in the cockpit.
Yeah. Ted, thanks for checking in, man. We appreciate the information. Now, I did do an AI search here on the GPS history, and Jorge, one of our crew members, thanks, man, for checking in. Appreciated it. So, in 1978, the U.S. government of defense developed GPS. So they developed it, the Department of Defense.
In 78.
So it was for military use only then.
Okay, so Skinnerd was like a band that had like existed for a long time by the time we had GPS.
That means Jimi Hendrix never saw GPS.
Jimi Hendrix never saw GPS. John Lennon died in 80, so depending on when public consumption came to be, John Lennon probably never saw GPS.
Well, they didn't drive themselves anyways. They had no idea what was going on in the front of the car.
That's true.
Well, I'll verify that because in 1983, President Reagan announced GPS would be available for civilian use after the Korean Airlines disaster.
Okay.
So I don't know why that related. Because, I mean, if a plane crashed, then everybody got it? I don't...
Yeah, Reagan's like, we all need this.
Everyone's lost, obviously.
Let's see. Who else? 83 never got to witness GPS then.
Oh, well, let me find out who died in 1982.
Like famous people. So John Lennon, Jimi Hendrix.
John Belushi died in 82.
John Belushi never saw GPS.
That's awful. Randy Rhoads, Ozzy Osbourne's old guitarist.
You guys, I just think that I like when we do this guess who didn't see it thing, but you have to realize GPS did not affect famous people. Like, imagine truck driving prior to GPS.
So Trucker Mike didn't have GPS. He's alive, though.
Trucker Mike's dad, maybe?
Yeah, Trucker Mike's dad maybe never saw GPS.
Insane. Like, think about, like, that job, which you're just constantly going to places you've never been before. Oh, my God.
And you're like, oh, I just have to get these Dole bananas to this grocery store or else I lose my job.
Well, and imagine transporting bananas because if they brown up, you're screwed.
All right, well, we've gotten to the bottom of it, I think. At least some more information here on it's astounding. And Case was kind of right. He said planes didn't have GPS till probably the 80s, and I laughed at him, but he was right.
Apology accepted.
I didn't say I'm sorry. I'm just saying you were kind of right for a minute. Here's Gil Curtis with your headlines.
Headline news. Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow. Unfortunately, Phil also saw other things due to his mushroom addiction. Barnes & Noble is adding 60 new stores. That sounds fantastic, said the homeless guys looking for a place to use the bathroom. Starbucks will start offering free oat milk. Yes, free oat milk. And all you gotta do is pay $12 for a cup of coffee. Justin Baldoni launched a website defending himself against allegations from Blake Lively. If you want to check it out, go to whothehellcares.com. And the FDA approved the first non-opioid painkiller in over 20 years and advised the best way to avoid a headache is to stay off social media. This is not headline news.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.